Hello, my Buckeye fans out there. Welcome to another segment of the Buckeye Vinny YouTube channel show. But tonight's segment is going to be a little bit different. Instead of me covering the Browns and the Buckeyes and football, today's segment is going to be a very, very interesting one, to say the least. And it's going to be about the Cleveland Indians and Paul Dolan, the owner and CEO, changing their name. The team obviously is setting their sights in the franchise in a different direction following the 2021 season. And we all know what that direction is going to be. Obviously, a new name change. My friends, the Indians have been called the Indians for a little over 100 years. And now, all of a sudden, a very few number of people are offended about the name Indians. Let me give you a little bit of history behind how Cleveland ended up getting the name for the team, the Indians, for again over 100 years. From 1897 to 1899, Cleveland had a phenomenal player. And yes, he was Native American, Louis Sockalexis. He was the right fielder, again, who played 3 years for the Cleveland Spiders. Back then, 1897 to 1899. Louis was a star for Cleveland, to say the least. He was the best hitter, the best fielder, the best base stealer, you name it, he did it. If they had an MVP back then, which I don't believe they did, but if they did, Louis Sockalexis would have been the Cleveland Spiders MVP. After the 1899 season, he moved on to another franchise. From there, from 1903 to 1914, Cleveland was called the Cleveland Naps, after their player-manager, Napoleon LaJoie. But in 1915, Napoleon decided to leave Cleveland to play for Philadelphia. And this is where it gets interesting now, folks. So in 1915, a group of owners, players for Cleveland, decided to pay respect to their, if they had it back then, the MVP player that by far was the best player for Cleveland, and that was none other than Louis Sockalexis. In honor and respect, and this is where some people don't understand, so let me educate some. In honor and respect for Sockalexis, they decided to name Cleveland, instead of the Spiders, the Indians. Why? Because the Native American Louis Sockalexis, who was by far the best player for Cleveland. My friends, there is nothing wrong with the name Cleveland Indians. And again, Paul Dolan, whatever agenda he decided to want to do to now naming the Indians now the Guardians, I shake my head. I truly do. When I first researched the story about Louis Sockalexis, it was a very amazing story to me. It was a story that the city of Cleveland and the players on the team wanted to pay tribute and respect for Lewis as a Native American to name Cleveland the Indians because he was the best player. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but for those that continue to think that this was so bad to say Cleveland Indians, I'm just trying to educate a little bit here. You know, we have numerous teams out there. The Atlanta Braves, baseball. Kansas City Chiefs, NFL football. Florida State Seminoles, college football. And Chicago Blackhawks, NHL hockey. My friends, I just named 4 different teams, 3 different sports. Baseball, football, and hockey. Does the bell here ring a little bit when I mentioned the Braves, the Chiefs, the Seminoles, and the Blackhawks? These 4 teams are not, as of now, not going to change their name. So either these 4 teams' owners and CEO have some major big Paulines, or Paul Dolan sold out for whatever reason. And I think what upsets me the most is that, again, the amount of people that had an issue with the name Indians for Cleveland was minute. And I'm talking minute, about 5% maybe. So Dolan was more worried about the 5%, more worried about the 5% than the 95% that showed up and gave their all to cheer on Cleveland baseball. That is a smack in the 95%, the majority of the Cleveland fans' face. Sorry. For everybody that knows me, my subscribers, my friends, you know that Buckeye Vinny here is no stranger to speaking his opinion, and that's the way it should be. And for me, a longtime Indian fan, probably ever since I was 10, and I'm 51 now, so do the math. I followed the tribe back when Mike Hargrove played, managed. Dave Garcia, I remember Dave Garcia, very good manager. Andre Thunder Thornton, Julio Franco, Toby Harrah. I could go on and on. Rick Manning. You know, my friends, and I remember going and seeing this across the jerseys. Now we're going with the Guardians. And I guarantee you, give it a year or two, and somebody's going to have an issue with the nickname the Guardians. It's the way this has been going on. Amazing. Amazing. You know, I'm Italian. Not a big secret. Okay? Vinny. That's like me complaining about every time I see a Super Mario commercial. Or you know, the Super Mario, you know, where he rides around in that little go-kart. Okay? And wears that little pancake Italian hat. That's like me saying I'm offended with Super Mario. Get it off. No more Super Mario. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not offended, by the way. Okay? No, I'm not offended. I'm just saying, folks, you know, when is enough enough? Okay, so we got rid of Chief Wahoo. That offended people. Still wasn't good enough. Okay? Now we got to go after the name now. So a very interesting question for all my friends and fans out there is this. You do know a few statues now will have to come down. And this is what I'm getting at. Jim Thome, the all-star slugger for the Indians back then, he would have some moonshots when he hit homers. He has a statue of him outside the stadium, outside Progressive Field. But it has to come down. Do you know why? Because he has an Indian uniform on. So Mr. Paul Dolan, if you're going to play by the rules, my friend, and change it, then you got to play everything by the rules. Bob Feller, the classic Indians pitcher from a long time ago. Same scenario. Statue, Indians uniform. Statue's got to come down, I guess, then. I don't know. My friends, again, obviously, I'm sure you could tell, being an Ohioan, I don't like it one bit. I truly don't. Again, we've had the Indians name for a little over 100 years. And now, out of the clear blue sky, because, again, 5% of people are upset, but to hell with the 95%, okay, that are okay with it, okay? Now the name's going to have to change now. I just totally sickens me anymore about how many people, or very little people, are offended, but end up getting their way down the road. I don't know. You know, again, I mentioned the Braves, the Chiefs, the Florida State Seminoles, and the Chicago Blackhawks. Okay? They're still, to my knowledge, still keeping their name. So, my friends, I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Paul Dolan honestly thought that he was going to create something and assumed that the other franchises that I mentioned were going to hop on board, and it would have looked like that Dolan would have been a genius. Look what I did. Everyone followed me. Not the case. Not the case. The only other one, actually, that started this first was Washington. Okay? And, you know, of all names you picked, the Washington football team, a group of 10-year-olds could have picked a better name than the Washington football team. My opinion. My friends, I hope everyone enjoyed this segment today about the Indians now being called the Guardians. If you are new to my channel, please by all means subscribe. It's free to do so. If you like this video, please by all means click on the like button, and like always, please comment down below. My friends, for me, Cleveland Indians will always be the Cleveland Indians. Peace out. God bless. Buckeye Vinny's out of here.